Namaste. Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sadhana. For those of you that it is the first time here, welcome. Welcome, welcome. I am a tarot reader, intuitive reader, a lover of all things metaphysical. And Fridays, I tend to have a tarot chat at noon Pacific on Fridays. And today we're going to talk about Oracle decks from 2021. And these are the decks that we're talking about today are decks that were released this year. And oh my goodness, there are so many of them. And what we're going to talk about today is just, this many of it's crazy how many decks are released every year. And of course, all of them are not in my awareness. So I feel free in the chat as well today to introduce and talk about decks that were released in 2021 that were some of your favorites too. So yeah, welcome. Hello, Julia and Lydianne. Lovely to have you here. Dee and Donna. Donna just sat down with a hot cup of Assam. Beautiful. Tarology by Anna. Hi there, Anna. Thank you for joining us. And welcome, Ikale Sunflower. So lovely to have you here. Sarah. Hello. I feel like I haven't seen you on my channel for a while. One of the things, so open up this chat, and I have been working a lot with Oracle decks lately. As you know, I've done several videos. Hi, Penny. Several Oracle videos because I really feel that there's just something about Oracle cards that adds so much to readings, and whether you use it as a way to welcome a reading or to wind up or as a central card for a reading. I mean, there's so many different ways you can use an Oracle card in a reading. They just add so much. And of course, you can use them on their own for daily draws or weekly draws. And some Oracle decks, of course, need much more space and much more time than that as well, too. So we're going to look at quite a few different decks. Thank you, everybody who's arriving. Candy's here, and Tammy Ann, Elizabeth, hello, and Liz. Thank you all for joining. Well, the first thing I thought I wanted to just make a comment on today was that I purchased a couple of favorite decks. Just let me change let's go to this one. Yes. I purchased a couple of decks in their borderless incarnation this year, to great disappointment. I regret very much purchasing the new version of the deck. Now, this is a deck that I've shared several times. I didn't trim my copy. I've trimmed some of my CBR decks, but this one I didn't trim. For those of you that don't know the Enchanted map, that's what the original version looks like. And because I use this in past life readings, and I tend to it is one of her decks that I actually like. I love Jenna's artwork. And we've had these comments many times. It is definitely the art of Jenna Della Grottaglia that makes these decks. So I decided to purchase the borderless version, but actually I don't like it at all. There's just something about that subtle border, and I'm sorry, I don't have them matched up so you can see them side by side. Maybe by fluke we'll get a matching card, but I was actually really disappointed in the borderless version. I don't know. The cardstock feels thinner, which is great for some people. You know, Oracle decks are challenging to riffle shuffle, but yeah, so I just wanted to mention that I will be having, I haven't done a giveaway in ages, and next time I do a clean out, probably these two borderless decks that I'm showing you here will go on their merry way. And then the other one, which I actually did a side by side of, and we did some voting. I don't know if you remember. Now, these decks are not exactly the same because in the new version of the Messenger Oracle, which came out this year, there is a extra card. And of course, I love it that Donna says, "Oh dear." Oh, you do agree. Okay. Um, there is an extra card, and so if somebody wants to go back, or I can put it in the description later when I update the description box. This has always been a favorite oracle. Love the backs. And I was actually one of the people that wrote to, it's Blue Angel, right? I'm sure, pretty sure, yes, Blue Angel, to create a borderless version of this deck. And they did this year publish it. These are the backs of the new version. It is matte, it is tarot size, and the colors are slightly different. And what I found with the new version of the deck is that it is very, I almost want to say that it's neon. It's a neon color. And the decks that I the tarot decks that I tend to pair this with match so perfectly color to color. And so, yeah, so I'm definitely a fan of the old version of the Messenger, for sure. The new cards, which you'll have to go back and look if you want to see them. I did a side-by-side of both decks, and I don't want to take time to do that today. But yeah, so this is really interesting, kind of like be careful what you look for. Depending on what cards you are, what tarot decks you are pairing these with, the bordered or borderless might be in your favor. And I believe in that video, we found one deck where we actually preferred the borderless. But overall, I like the subtle color. Thank you, Donna. I like the subtle color of the older deck. The new one is quite brilliant. The saturation of the colors is a lot. It's a lot more colorful. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so that's, and I know that this is always going on. There's always new versions of decks that are coming out. And so what I would suggest before you hop on that bandwagon of, new is better, new is better and greater, to make sure that you check it out in a walkthrough, especially if it's a deck that you really like. I don't know. Anyway, that is just a preliminary comment with where we are going today. Okay, so before I get to the top 5, I'm just there's a whole bunch of decks that I want to kind of open the conversation with. Hello, Susan, welcome. One of the decks that came out this year by Sherilyn Darcy is the Green Witch Oracle. And this deck pairs very nicely with pretty much any earth-centric decks. I think this is it's a nice addition, pairing to the Herb Crafters. I've shared this deck a couple of times on my channel. It has a lot going on in the deck, and it has an excellent guidebook. Sherilyn tends to write great guidebooks. So let's just go to the broccoli card. Leadership. I just want to, in case you haven't seen this, I wanted to share this with you. Oh, no, it's by number. So this is number 6. Number 6, leadership, broccoli. Okay. There's so much going on the card. It's really interesting. There is a moon phase. There is a zodiac sign, elements. There is the Latin name. I mean, this was a very, very, very well thought out oracle. And in the guidebook, you get spell, oracular meanings, you get like botanical stuff. There's deity, associations with deities. It's a very, very well done little book. Now there is another deck that came out this year, and I don't have my hands on it. And it's this one, The Language of Flowers. And I have been trying to purchase it. Hi, Joey, welcome. And oh, Pamela, welcome to you as well too. And I don't have this one, and I'm waiting. So if any of you have been working with this version of Language of Flowers, there's also the little one that comes in the little tiny box, one of it comes this size as well too. But this is a bigger, and it looks really, really good. I'm very excited about this, and I can't wait to have this deck in my collection. I'm surprised I haven't actually. I ordered it a couple of times, and for some reason it got deleted off the order list at the store, and I should have just ordered it through Amazon, but I never did. So yeah. Anyway, ooh, okay, so you have several of you like the Greenwich Tarot, so that's good. Yeah, no, I find it really very useful. It's one of those. I love to pull out my Herb Crafters Tarot in the spring and summer, and I feel like this is another one that gets me really going with the Green Witchery, and I absolutely love that. Pamela doesn't. Okay, so you have all the Rock Pool, Sherilyn Darcy, but not that one. Yeah, I'm thinking that this is going to be a fantastic deck. Okay, so there's a few others that I don't have in hand that I want to have a little chat about. So this is one that I hesitated in purchasing when it was available, and I saw it on the shelf and it kind of intrigued me. And I know there are several essential oil oracles out there. I don't have one. And I am very interested in this particular one. And I know there's a few of them. There's at least 3 available right now. So if any of you are working with this deck, so this one came out in 2021, or any of the other essential oil decks, or if you have a bunch of essential oil decks, please let us know, because it would be great to have some sort of feedback on these decks. And if you feel like they add to your readings, or how you use them, if you use them in a healing spread, or how that goes. Yeah. Hi, Joseph. Welcome to you as well too. So does anybody have the essential oils healing deck, or any of the older essential oils decks? Pamela has a question. Sorry, are you picking these top 5? These are going to be 2021 decks only. Pamela, I've already done my top 5 oracles. I did another video, I think it was last week, and I shared with you my top 5 oracles of all time. And today we're just looking at decks that were published in 2021. Okay. Oh, you have it. Okay, so let us know what you think of this deck, because is it something that you purchased it away, or have you been using it? Let us know. because I'm kind of curious about that one. Okay, another one that is not in hand, which now this series of decks. So in 2020, Seasons of the Witch Samhain came out. And then this year, Seasons of the Witch Yule, and next year, Seasons of the Witch Beltane will come out. And I know Becca, what mentioned on her channel, I remember I was in a chat and she said, wouldn't it be lovely to wait and purchase a box set with all 8 of them? And I'm wondering if it's going to take 8 years for all of these decks to come out, or they will kind of speed it up. But I don't have any of them yet. The artwork really isn't my my thing, but I'm very curious about these decks and whether they can be used all year round. I don't know. I haven't purchased the Yule deck, which is this deck from 2021, or the Samhain deck, which came out in 2020 yet. So just, I mean, I do like the ink lines. The ink lines remind me a little bit of Anatorian's work, you know, the way the trees are drawn, the antlers and so forth. And also the, another favorite oracle is the Earthly Spirits Oracle. That one kind of reminds me of that as well too. Okay. So this comment here is in by My Heart's Journey, is in response to the essential oils deck. So yeah, so still waiting for feedback on that. And of course, there are some other videos on YouTube that you can go through. And Elizabeth says that the Seasons decks are not her aesthetic. Yeah. So there's going to be 8 of them, I'm assuming. So it's quite a, it's an investment, and it's a lot of cards on your, if you're a collector, I suppose it's a cool thing to collect. Yeah. And I tend to, I don't know, what do I use? I mean, the Wildwood Tarot is a deck that I pull out for the Sabbats, but I use it all year round as well too. Yeah. All right, another one that came out in 2021 that I do not have, that came to my attention. Where should I go? I should go over here. Let me go over here a little bit. That came to my attention last week. Kelly Fitzgerald at The Truth in Story was doing some readings, and this deck by, can you see her name on the box? Wendy. I can just see it's Wendy. It's not my aesthetic. However, the readings were so beautiful. They were so touching, and it really felt like a hug deck. And there was another deck that came out last year as well too. And so there's 2 decks by this creator, and it just kind of piqued my interest last week when Kelly was reading with these decks. There was something very, you know, sometimes we need that energy. We need that very loving energy. So yeah, so this one was released this year. I'm not sure that it's one that I'm going to purchase, but it read beautifully. So yeah, that's just wanted to share that one with you. And then the last one that I'm sharing with you that I don't have, which is on its way, and I'm absolutely in love with. I'm looking at Andrew's comment. What is my Venus sign? Andrew, I'm so bad. I have to go get my astrology chart to answer that question. I don't even know. I can go grab it in a second, because it's just on my bookshelf right there. I need to look it up. I do not have all my planets memorized. Now, this one, I have another slide for you as well too. It was one of you, I think it was one of the Donnas that brought this deck to my attention. It is a Hay House deck, and there's just something about the artwork that I feel really, really connected to. So I'll show you the other slide. And I have ordered it. Oh, I feel like, oh my God, do I really, really need another Oracle deck? I have a lot of Oracle decks, but there's something about this one. There's a sense of diversity, cross-cultural goddessness. I love the artwork. So I'm hoping that it reads really well. I'm kind of excited about the Priestess of Light, but like I said, it's not in hand. Okay, so some of you are working with it. Julia loves it. Must have been Donna Thompson. Okay, must have been Donna Thompson. Yeah, Joseph, isn't that friendship card beautiful? It really is. So I will let you know, and I will share it with you when it arrives. Elizabeth is drilling over a Kickstarter called Witch. Okay. Why don't you take a guess what my Venus is in? What my Venus is in. And I will go and grab my chart, and then I will share that with you. Okay. I'll literally be 2 seconds. It's just on my bookshelf right here. Here it is. I have everybody's chart in the family. And I have some charts of various friends. I should really know. I should really know. Because I'm very interested in this stuff. So okay. Of course, my kids are first in this book. Yeah, I have this binder with everybody's birth. Okay. Here we go. Venus. Venus is in Libra in the 11th house. And I don't even know what that means. I would have to go back and read one of the interpretations. Venus is in Libra in the 11th house. Yeah. So for those of you that are astrologers, you can tell me what that means to you. My moon is in Capricorn. My moon is in Capricorn. Yeah. All right. So those are all the ones that I'm sharing with you today that I do not have. We're all wrong. Is my aesthetic airy? Oh, Joey, I don't know. That's a really, really good question. Well, you're going to see the ones, the 2 or 3 favorites today that, because I've got lots more to share with you. So you will see what I really, really like. And then you can determine what my aesthetic is. Now, this deck is one that I purchased on Kickstarter, and I said to myself, I do not need another freaking animal oracle deck. But I believe these creators reached out to me, and they sold me I'm such a sucker. I forget which card it was. Okay, I'm going to show you some of these cards. This is called, here's the box. It's called Animal Guides. It's a Kickstarter. And there was a charity that was involved in the fundraiser. And these are the cards. There's no numbers on them. There are no keywords. There are no names on the cards. Oh my God, look at that sloth card. I just want to find the ones for you that had me sold on this deck. And that's a pretty powerful card right there. I do like this one, the Snow Leopard card. There is a bee card. Look at that one. Because there's no keywords, there's no numbers, it's kind of a challenging deck to work with. Oh, this was one of them. This is one of the ones that got me. I thought, you know what, if nothing else, I will do something special with this card. And this was I just thought that was a really powerful card. I think that's one of the reasons why I supported the Kickstarter. This ant card is pretty cool, hey? Yeah. So I will show you. I will show you the guidebook. But to tell you the truth, I was a little disappointed. It just feels. I mean, this turtle is gorgeous. It just felt a little incomplete. A little incomplete. So inside, oh, there are numbers. There's tiny. Look, there's a little number there, but you can't see it. You can't see it on most of them. Okay, so the elephant is number 11. Oh my goodness. And you know what? It's missing from the book. It's out of order. The book is bound out of order. It was kind of a rookie. I felt like it was kind of a rookie thing. Anyway, it does have a book that apparently is bound incorrectly. Yeah, I just wanted to share this with you. It's probably a deck that I don't know what I could do. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place here today. One of the things I like to do as a reader when I'm doing in-person readings is to give an oracle card away. And what I might do with this deck is exactly that, is to put these into a bag and then have clients draw one as they leave. Yeah. But there's a few cards on here that could definitely be, I could definitely use them for something like that. But that elephant card is quite striking. Okay. Yes, Andrew, it did, and I do have it on my table. Yes, it did. Okay, let's move that over there. Okay. This is the deck Andrew's talking about. And I got to make sure that I, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I only have 5 more decks, and these 5 decks are the ones that from 2021 that I will be keeping out and working with. And so I guess you can call the rest of the ones that I'm showing you my top 5. And what I feel is like there's a bunch of 2021 decks that anyway, these are my top 5. Let's just say that. So Ancestor Spirit Oracle, Andrew made me do it. So Andrew is Well-Tempered Claire. And I want to thank you, Andrew, because This is a deck that I definitely will. It is in my ancestor work / past life reading pile, and those are the backs. The fire is incredible. It pairs really, really well with Julia Kuchia Watts's Ancestral Path Tarot. And it also looks great with every other deck that I use in this work. I absolutely love this card. This is one of my favorite cards. This gesture is, oh my God. There should be a name for this gesture. There, if you ever want to touch somebody's soul, this is what you do. It's so beautiful. And I love, oh my God, I love this card. Love, love, love. This deck came out in early 2021. It does have a name. Anna, hello, hello, welcome. And Leela, oh my goodness, Leela, I'm going to call you Leela. Welcome, welcome. Anna says it has a name. I am going to look that up. There's very, very few people that I have connected with in that way. And I want to say that it is a beautiful gesture also on parting from someone. So when somebody is crossing over, going to the other side, it's a beautiful way of farewell as well too. Yeah. So this is a great deck. This deck for me is far superior to something like Angels and Ancestors. I don't know, this is a really, really good deck. This is called the Ancestor Spirit Oracle cards. It is I was going to say it's rock pool, but I think it's Blue Angel. It's Blue Angel. All right. So, and in the guidebook, you have a description, you have an ancestral meaning, and a divinatory meaning. So, yeah. It's really, really gorgeous. Okay. Ancestor Spirit. So, Ancestor Spirit, and except for number one, number 5, 4, 3, and 2, I'm going to say are in no particular order. Okay. All right. So that is 1. Let's go to Anna's comment here. Oh, there's a few great comments. Beautiful, Elizabeth. Hongi is a traditional Maori greeting in New Zealand. It is done by pressing the nose and forehead of the other person during a meeting. Okay. Beautiful. These are great comments. Julia, my stepfather passed away recently, and this was how he said goodbye whilst he asked me to take care of my other. Gorgeous. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. Now, I somehow I missed the train on ethereal visions. The Ethereal Visions Tarot, I'll just check the date. The Ethereal Visions Tarot came out in 2017. 2017. I just got it. It just it just came, and I'll tell you why I just got it. This is the Ethereal Visions Tarot. For some reason, I didn't. I kind of really like this double card. I don't have a lot of these gold decks. Anyway, the reason I'm showing you that is because this year Matt Hughes created a matching oracle deck to go with this called the Dreamscape Oracle. And this is the little guidebook. It's a tiny little deck, but there is something about the keywords on this deck that really got to me. So this is the architect. And then as a result, I decided to purchase the tarot deck, and I will be working with this. So this is the spring. I mean, I really like these cards. The Knight. I have a thing for elephants, Joseph. The Gate. The Prophet. Love that there's a serpent card. Oh, that reminds me, by the way, I am starting a Lenormand series on Tuesdays in January. And I need to make a note to self to do the introductory video over the next couple of weeks. Oh my goodness, I need to make a note of that. Intro video to Lenormand. The serpent card that's why I was thinking about that, because there's always this, right? There's a serpent card in Lenormand, snake card. So yeah, this, there's the shadow card. Where is the elephant card? There's not a lot of cards in this deck. The Silence, the Word. And then we have White Buffalo Woman, the Selkie, the Raven, the Koi. There's the Elephant, the White Owl, the Octopus, and the Sun Bear. So I'm very, look at the Sea Turtle. I'm going to be able to work with this deck. I feel I like its aesthetic. And so this, yeah, there's something about this that is just feeling like I need to work with it. So yeah, so you can expect to see this oracle deck and the tarot deck on my Tuesday readings coming up soon, as once I get a feel for this. Yeah. Okay. So this is the number 4. This is the number 4, an unexpected oracle. And just, I can't remember how that came into my awareness, but yeah. All right. Now, I've showed you this one on my channel before. I have all of Ciolo's decks. And this is her latest deck. And I'm going to say that the Line Strider guidebook is not very good. But her, what's it called? I was going to call it the Herb Crafter's Oracle. That's not it. The Hedge Witch Oracle. The guidebook is fantastic. This also has an excellent guidebook, and we'll look at the cards, but I just wanted to show you that. It really does a good job. You also get an enlarged view of the card, and I love the way that she writes about the cards that she's chosen. And of course, we have plants and animals as well too. So this is the Winter Seer Oracle by Ciolo Thompson, and it is over here. And if you have any of Ciolo's decks, you'll recognize the cards, and all of her decks just work really nicely together. So you have the animal name and in English, and I didn't check to see if you get the Latin name of the animal in the guidebook. She's always really good about that. You don't get the Latin name. You know, and I'm just pondering, looking at this, and I'm thinking, oh my God, here is yet another animal deck. I seem to be able to do well with animals in oracle decks. Whole decks of animals in tarot, I find more challenging. I can handle it when the court cards are animals, or there's certain aspects of the animal. Very interesting. I feel like I haven't drawn all of these cards yet, but it really is beautiful, and I love working with her decks, and so this is one that feels very familiar to me. Very, very familiar. I love the way that she draws. And it makes, you know, her keywords make sense. And because she has created 2 tarot decks, she's familiar with the integration of oracle and tarot. And so I trust that it will be, you know, also be easy to work with. This is a really interesting card. Look how the beaver is behind the birch tree there. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. That is my choice for number 3. And like I said, number 5, 4, 3, and 2 are in no particular order. Okay. Alrighty. Number 2. Oops, I need to adjust here. Okay. Now, I want to say the reason that this is not number 1 has to do with a spelling mistake on a particular card. And I don't know if it's a really harsh criteria. The Tulku Oracle. Which Donna helped me get in hand. Thank you so much. Really, really speaks to me as a yogi. I love the colors. And I feel that there is so much thought that is put into the cards. Another reason that this is not the number 1 for 2021 is that I feel this is a particular style, a particular content of deck that I will be using with only certain kinds of readings. The number one deck that I'm sharing with you is one that I can use with all kinds of readings, any kinds of questions, any kinds of content. This is an absolutely stunning, stunning deck. And I feel personally, I will be working with this more and more. And just as I'm looking at this right now, I'm going to do a reading for myself later because it's a new moon today. So the new moon is moving into Sagittarius this evening. So I'm going to do a reading for myself with the Tulku and Margaret Peterson. I think these two decks are going to just be really, really beautiful together. There's my honeybee. Love the honeybee. Do you know which card I'm talking about that has the spelling mistake? It's a pretty important card to me. This Lilith card is really stunning. Actually, I'm not going to wait till tonight to do the reading. I'm going to do it as soon as I sign off here. And I love these colors. These colors feel very third eye. And we'll explore this deck more in the chakra course because I feel like I have a lot that I can share with you from this deck when we get to the chakra course. I am teaching, where is it? So in January, for those of you that aren't aware, I'm teaching an 8-week class on tarot. It's not just tarot, it'll be tarot and oracle and working with healing spreads and understanding the chakras better and how to use the tarot cards to deepen your awareness of the chakras. And I'm going to give you a spread for each chakra, and we're going to go through one chakra per week. These are 90-minute classes. And yeah, so I'm taking 11 people in each group, and there's about 5 or 6 people registered in each group right now. So there are chakra cards. So yeah. Is there a Mala card? I'm not sure if there's a Mala card. There's a Moksha card. I mean, it's absolutely stunning. It's just so stunning, stunning, stunning. Did anybody figure out which card had the spelling mistake? Do you have this? Is there a Diwali card? There's also a cross, which is amazing. And there are some animals in this one as well, too. So, you know, this deck feels, it's not just Indian. There is the energy of, there is the energy, what do I want to say? The archetypal energy of several animals in this deck as well, too. And I will do a review of this deck in the new year for sure. And, you know, there's a few goddess cards, like there's Lakshmi and Artemis, right? So we're not just, there's a Kuan Yin card. And if one of the reasons, you know, Durga, we have to have Durga. Kali Yantra. I feel like I could teach a course around this deck, actually. Yeah, this is something I would, but we definitely will look at this deck in great detail in that course. Yeah. Okay. And just so you know, this is the card with the spelling mistake. It's really, really a shame that, because I can't even look at it. It's just like, oh, and it's such beautiful, beautiful artwork. Beautiful, Beautiful artwork. So I want to thank you, Donna, and many, many others who brought this deck to my attention, because I mean, these are just sacred. I mean, Sankalpa is such an important, these are concepts that are part of who I am, and what I teach and what I practice. And they're just, it's just so beautiful. Yeah. I don't think there is a mala card. Yeah. Okay. So yes, I promise you I will do a full review of this deck, besides including this deck in the upcoming chakra course. Yeah. Okay. So let's go back. Let's check in before I share with you my number one oracle for 2021. Yes, the postage was very expensive. And again, that was one of the reasons why I didn't order the Tulku. And Donna was going to send it when she got to Canada, but ended up having to pay for the US postage anyway. So I don't know. You know, I would contact UK people. I would contact Red Seed Tarot. You know, that's what it's called, the Red, and see if they can get that deck, just in case that deck is not in their knowledge base, because that's definitely a deck they would carry. And also, how about Wasima? If Wasima doesn't have this deck, I'm sure Wasima would carry this deck, because it's definitely in her, you know, that's something that Wasima would carry. So those are two different sources that I would bring the Tulku Oracle to their attention. The guidebook is also very chunky, and I have not spent a lot of time with it. Like it's a decent size book. So yeah. So I promise you I will do a review of that deck in the not too distant future. Okay. She also makes jewelry, amulets, and there's a lot of beautiful jewelry on that deck, on her website. Yeah. Okay. Whew. Sorry, that was a big sigh. That was a big sigh. Okay, my number one for 2021 is Wisdom of the Sacred Bee. That's my number one. It's over here somewhere. And I will also do a full review of Wisdom of the Sacred Bee. And I want to do a series with this deck. I think there's a lot that we can work with these two decks, with the sacred geometry. And thanks, Donna. Little Red Tarot, that's right. With the sacred geometry, and I don't know, I feel like there's a lot that is going on in this deck that we can pull from. And of course, this is a beautiful pairing with her, with Kelly's tarot deck, Journey of the Sacred Bee. One of the things I like about a good oracle deck is that we see a balance of shadow and light, but also in this deck we have suits that are built in. So we have at the top of each card, you're going to see an element sign. And so we have 5 suits, and I love oracle decks that have different layers that we can work with. Hello, Clavis. Welcome. And so this is a fire card, another fire card. And one of the things you can do with Kelly's decks is to, if you're doing a personal kind of deep dive, is to really look at the sacred geometry and pull out cards that have the same sacred geometry, or perhaps just work with one of the suits and really get familiar with the suits. And maybe you want to pull out the matching minor arcana suit. I don't have Reclaim Oracle. So I'm just going to pause. This deck, actually, I'm going to come back to that comment, and I will come back to that in a second. I want to finish my thoughts here. So pull out the suits that are matching with the journey of the sacred bee with the tarot deck and with the oracle deck, and then you could do a little bit of a study here. So this is one of the ether cards, the spirit cards, enigmatic. Yeah. And so that is actually one of my intentions too, because like the flower of life is part of the other deck as well too, and to really kind of take a study into how Kelly has integrated the sacred geometry in both decks, because it's very clever and stunning, and I feel like it has a layer, it has a life of its own, and it brings a deep what I want to say. It brings a layer. It brings a connection. So I feel like the sacred geometry amplifies the energy of the cards and allows us to connect better with our intuition. That's what I want to say. Now, this is an absolutely stunning card. Look at that. Yeah. Okay, so that is my number one oracle for 2021. Let us just have a little chat about Reclaim Oracle. And I'm just going to do one thing here. Okay. I'm not sorry for the shaky table. I'm not sure what year Reclaim Oracle first came out. So this year I purchased the Self-Love Tarot, and I have also ordered the Future Ancestor Tarot, which have a very similar aesthetic to the Reclaim Oracle. And I didn't order the Reclaim Oracle. I just felt, I don't know, it was not my aesthetic. So I know a lot of people love this deck, and I've heard it mentioned so many times. So it must be reading very, very well. And if you are interested and you like the Self-Love Tarot, the deck that came out of Poland, or the Future Ancestor Tarot, I believe that's a US deck. I haven't got it yet, but I did order it. This Oracle deck, the Reclaim Oracle, which Anna and Pamela mentioned, pairs really, really well with both of those tarot decks. Yeah. Oh, there's more conversation here. Let's go to the Red Seeds. The Red Seeds Oracle deck is a new deck to my collection. I'm loving getting to know it. So in 2021, the Red Seeds Tarot was published. In 2022, 2021, right? This year, 2021, the Red Seeds Tarot was published. In 2020, Red Seeds 3, 2019, Red Seeds 2, 2018, Red Seeds 1. So I haven't included a Red Seeds Oracle. These 4 decks are now a part of my collection. And you may see the Red Seeds Tarot. It's, again, I've got a lot of new decks that I'm working with, and I would love to do a 2021 tarot version of this video very soon. I'm just feeling a little overwhelmed. I saw Papa Squirrel or somebody did a poll on how many decks did you purchase in 2021, and to tell you the truth, I started really, really slowly, and then all of a sudden I got carried away, and I've really expanded my collection in the last third of this year. Okay. All of the Avec La Vie decks are beautiful, beautiful as well too. That's great, Liz. That's great. Okay, so yeah, so those are 5 oracle, more than 5 oracle decks. I'm really interested too to see how about that the Priestess one, because I have ordered that one, and if I can ever get my hands on the Cheryl and Darcy one that I mentioned as well too. Those are 2 more 2021 decks that I'm actually kind of excited about. So thank you. Thank you for being here today. And like I said, I'm going to do a review of I've got lots of work to do here. Lots of decks that I need to get more familiar with. And so what I tend to do on my Tuesday live readings is to play with them and just see how they work. You do readings for myself and so forth. So I'm going to do a Tool Margaret Peterson reading for the new moon. So the new moon shifts into Sagittarius this evening, and the solar eclipse is not visible from where I am. But if you are in Australia, I believe parts of the southern hemisphere, you will be able to see the solar eclipse. So yeah, my pleasure for sharing. I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow I am reading with Anna, Astral Lady Tarot, and I am so looking forward to reading with her. She is such a live wire, and I love her sense of humor. So I hope I will see some of you then. In the meantime, take good care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you then. Namaste.